So the next project, remember there are two projects that you have to do together to get anywhere. First, you need an Android phone, and then you need Burp. Burp is the tool that lets you easily analyze the network traffic going into that phone. So again, Burp, just like Android Emulator, is a commercial product. It's free and it installs on every operating system. It's very nice. So once you've got Burp Suite is the technical name. Burp Suite Community Edition is the free version. There's a pay version too, which has more features, but I've never used it. The free version has all the features I need, all we're going to need for this class. Professional pen testers generally pay for the pay version, but for what we're doing, it's fine. So when you launch Burp, it's going to have you're going to always run a temporary project. All this project stuff you only get in the pay version anyway. So you click Next and you start Burp. All right, and so here we are in Burp. And the thing about Burp, Burp is a proxy, which is a server that can collect network traffic and forward it. So the main thing you have to do is go to Proxy, turn off Intercept, because Intercept will block network connections. Every request will stop and let you examine it and modify it. And that's not what we want. Right now, we just want to examine network traffic without modifying it. So we turn off Intercept, and now we have to change the proxy. The proxy right now is listing on 127.0.0.1.80.80. So this is the loopback address. So the only thing that can reach that address is another process running on my Mac. And my Android phone has a different address and cannot reach that address. So I need to change this listening address. So I edit it, but not edit, but edit it. Edit it, and I'm going to change it to a public address, which appears to be this in this room, 172.17.25.53. I need to listen on a real public address that the phone can find. That's all. Now Burp is listening on that address. Now I need to put that address in the Android phone. And you do that here. I'm done with Qt. So I go home, and now I want to go to Settings, so I drag this up, and there's Settings. If you don't want to have to drag up that box every time, you can click and hold and drag to put it on the home screen. Now I can get to Settings more easily. And now in Settings, I can adjust the network proxy. So let me get to my instructions here. After you got Burp going, and you configured it to listen on a better address, then you go in your Android phone, switch Settings, Network and Internet, Wi-Fi. Let's see if that works. I think it'll work because we're using exactly the version of Android. It's a Network and Internet. If you use a different version, the options will still be here, but they get hard to find. Here it is, Internet, Android, Wi-Fi. Okay. I don't want to add a network. I want to modify that. All right, let me see. I think it was Settings, Network and Internet, then Wi-Fi. Okay. Right. Something weird happened. All right. I'm not seeing Wi-Fi as an option here. Airplane mode is on. What? All right, airplane mode. Let's turn off airplane mode. Okay. I'm losing control of my phone here. Let's turn off airplane mode. Okay, now it's connected to the internet. Now, I'm not seeing Wi-Fi, which is irritating. But I was hoping to get to Android Wi-Fi. So let's see if that works. I should have a gear line available somewhere. Here's the gear. Okay, so the steps are a little bit different than I expected. This tends to happen, but you want to get here to adjust the properties of that network connection. And now you can specify a proxy in here. Now you have to hit the pencil. Okay. There we are. Here's where you specify the proxy. And that has to be the address from Burp. So let me find the Burp, which is 172.17.25.53. Oh, good. I can get them both on the screen at the same time. That's handy. So it's going to be proxy manual. And that's the address 172.17.25.53. 53. Okay. And then proxy port is 8080. And save that. Now that tells the phone, don't send any traffic directly to the internet. Instead, send it to this proxy server, which will forward it. It's something a lot of companies use, and I'm using it here just so I can snoop on the traffic. So that, if everything is working correctly, I should now be able to spy on the network traffic in the phone. So the thing to do is go to a website. I'm using one of my websites, hackathon.samsclass.info. So open a web browser on the phone. So I go to my phone, and I think this takes effect. I don't think I have to hit save or anything. So I'll just go home, and then open a web browser. Chrome should do. And then go, I don't care about this, accept and continue. I don't want to sync data. Okay, I can go to hackathon.samsclass.info. All right, oh, and it's been blocked, wow. That's interesting, category malware. Well, they could be right about that. However, might be able to get the flag anyway. If not, I may have to change things. Let's see what I got here. Proxy, oh, that's because I used Chrome. Chrome is too damn smart. Let's try using a simpler browser. I should have something else on this machine, a default browser or Safari, or I won't be Safari, but there should be a default browser available. Axe. That's the problem with Google. They have security features. There should be a default web browser somewhere. Maybe not on these. Well, that's annoying. All right, let's see if I got any good data from the proxy here. In Burp, if I go to proxy, I want web history, and somehow I'm having trouble finding things. This is all just settings. I think I need to close this window. There we are. This is where I want to be. Now I should be able to find HTTP. There, HTTP history. There you go. And here's the data going to Hackathon, which I think you'll still be able to get the flag, even though Chrome is blocking that website. Let's see. If not, I'll have to change the flag. Here, all I expected you to do was find the get that loads hackathon.samsclass.info. And that was this one. So you can now observe the network traffic going to the phone. There was the get. There's the request. Here's the response. And it loaded the whole page. Then it didn't display it in the browser because it decided it was malicious. But it did load the page, and you'll be able to find the flag there. So you can get to the project even though the browser refuses to show it. This, by the way, is a deliberately vulnerable website, and my students hack it all the time. So that's why it shows up as malware. A lot of my stuff, I have vulnerable stuff on my domain, and people freak out about it. Now, let's try going to a secure page. So that worked. That was an insecure page, an HTTP page. So you can run it through a proxy with no problem. So somebody spied on my traffic. Burp spied on my traffic, and if you're using HTTP, you have no idea whether that happens. So it is not supposed to happen with HTTPS. So let's try to go to an HTTPS page on the phone here. And here I should have, I don't need that. There's my web page. All right, so I take this, and I go to HTTPS, samsclass.info. Now it gives a different error message. Your connection is not private. Attackers might be trying to steal your information. This is what is supposed to happen. This is what I was talking about earlier. I went to a website that's supposed to be samsclass.info, but in fact, Burp intercepted it. And when Burp intercepts a secure page, it generates a fake certificate and sends it back, which will not pass validation. So this is the whole point. If you connect to a secure website, you know you're connecting only to them and nobody in the middle can read the data. That's the point. Burp is doing a man-in-the-middle attack. And this is warning you. This is what you should have happen. Your browser is correctly validating certificates. If it wasn't, I would see the page. But it warns you and blocks it. That's what you should see. All right. Now, we can import that certificate into the phone and tell the phone to trust this. So let's try that. If I go to PortSwigger, it's proxy, import, export certificate. So I go to proxy, and then settings, and then import, export certificate. And I go back to my instructions. I want dir format, and I want to call it portswigger22.crt, okay? So I go certificate in dir format, next, select a file. I'll put it in my downloads and call it this. I'm going to call it portswigger 2024, just so I can find it. That's the certificate I just exported. That is the certificate that identifies my Burp proxy. And I'm going to add that as a trusted authority in the Android phone. So now I should have that file. If I go here to, say, downloads, there it is, portswigger2024.crt. Now, I think I can just drag and drop that on the phone. Let me go back to my instructions. Nope, you got to do it this way. Yep, drag it on the phone and then go into security. Okay, so I go to my phone. If you want to put a file on your phone, you just drag and drop it. All right, that should have put it on the phone. I think it went too fast to see very much. Now I'm going to go into settings and advanced. Well, I'm on encryption and credentials. Looks like, again, things aren't exactly where they used to be. This tends to happen. Even though I'm supposedly using the same version of things, there seem to be some updates that still happen. So I wonder if it's in security. Permissions, locations. Let's try security. I'm annoyed by this, but let's see what we have. Security, encryption and credentials. Okay. Oh, okay. Security, encryption and credentials. Okay. It's more or less doing what I expected. Encryption and credentials, then install a certificate. Here we go. Okay. CA, install anyway, then go to downloads. Okay, CA, which is a trusted certificate authority. Now it's warning me, this is dangerous. This means you're trusting these, they can snoop on your data. I'll say install anyway. And now I want to go to downloads, which I think you find here. Yep, downloads. And there it is, Portswigger. So just click on that, and it's installed. CA certificate installed. So now I've told it to trust Burp. And now that I've done that, if I go back to this browser that refused to load this page, and I refresh it, I just go here again, samsclass.info. Yep, now it loads. So now it doesn't have any problem loading this page, even though it's using a bogus certificate because I told it to trust that certificate. This is what corporations do primarily. They will take all their company machines, they will install a certificate for their man-in-the-middle traffic monitoring device, and they will require that on all the devices so they can man-in-the-middle inspect all the network traffic. This is the right way to do it. There are other ways to do it. Other ways to do it are to get a root certificate, which you're not supposed to be able to get from the certificate authorities, although law enforcement can do it and big corporations can do it. You basically bribe one of the certificate authorities into giving you a root certificate to run on your device. This is another dirty little secret of the security industry that has leaked out in the last few years. But anyway, that's the game. Now you have a secure one, and again, there's a flag defined. Now, if you leave it set this way, your phone will not be able to reach the internet at all except when you're running Burp. And that's annoying. So when you're done inspecting traffic with Burp, you probably want to quit using Burp, and that's what you do here. So if you want to tell it to quit doing that, you go into settings, and then network and internet. By the way, you could probably use the search. I can probably use the search to go to Wi-Fi. That might be better than hunting through their menu that keeps changing. Wi-Fi. Yep, okay, Wi-Fi. Yep, Android, it might be better just use the search box. Then I go here, then I go back to the pencil, and now, instead of using a proxy, I use no proxy. And save this, and now it will just go back to going directly to the internet, not going through Burp anymore, and now I can easily use the phone to install apps and do other things. So this is something we'll do a lot in this course. You'll be going through Burp and then not going through Burp anymore. All right. And so that's all I wanted to show you tonight. I'm going to stop this recording and